Welcome to your New York City Specialized High School Admission Test SHSAT online lesson series. Before we begin, make sure you have the notebook and a pen ready. Throughout these lessons, you will learn important tips, strategies, and problem solving techniques that will help you prepare for the SHSAT and improve your score. Let's get started. This SHSAT mathematics question says jar 1 and jar 2 each contain 1 over 2 cup of water. If 1 over 4 cup of water from jar 1 is poured into jar 2, how much water is now in jar 2? So we can think of it as $1. Now jar 2 already has half cup of water, which is half a dollar or 50 cents. Now, if you put 1 over 4, which is 25 cents into the jar 2, it will have in total of 75 cents, which can also be written as 3 over 4. And with that, the final answer is option C. Next, we have if n is a whole number and 0.01 is between 1 over n and 1 over n plus 2, what is the value of n? So now we can write 0.01 as 1 over 100. Now, 1 over 100 is between 1 over n and 1 over n plus 2. So before 1 over 100, we can have 1 over 99, and 99 plus 2 gives us 1 over 101. So 0.01 is between 1 over n. So the value of n here is 99. And with that, the correct answer is option D. Next, we have when asked a certain question in a poll, 72% of the people polled answered yes. If 56 people did not answer yes, what is the total number of people who were polled? So here, 72% of the people polled answered yes. So the percentage of people who did not answer yes will be 100 minus 72, which equals to 28. Now it's given that 56 people did not answer yes. So if you notice, 56 is exactly twice of 28%. So we can multiply 100% with 2 to get the total number of people that were polled, and 100% multiplied by 2 gives us 200, and with that the correct answer is option C. Next, we have the probability of drawing a red candy at random from a bag of 25 candies is 2 over 5. After 5 red candies are removed from the bag, what is the probability of randomly drawing a red candy from the bag? So first, we need to find the total number of red candies, and we can find it by multiplying 2 over 5 with 25, which is the probability of drawing a red candy multiplied by the total number of candies. So 5 times 1 gives us 5, and 5 times 5 gives us 25. So 2 times 5 gives us 10. Now the total number of red candies is 10, and 5 red candies are already removed from the bag. So the amount of remaining red candies is 10 minus 5, which equals to 5. Now the question asks, what is the probability of randomly drawing a red candy from the bag? So the total number of candies is 25, and we have to subtract 5 from it, as the number of candies which are already removed is 5. So 25 minus 5 gives us 20. And now we have only 5 candies left, which are red. So in order to find the probability of randomly drawing a red candy from the bag, we can write it as 5 over 20, which can be simplified to 1 over 4, as 5 times 1 gives us 5, and 5 times 4 gives us 20. And with that, the correct answer is option C. Next question is, each number in a sequence is formed by doubling the previous number and then adding 1. If the ninth number in the sequence is 63, what is the 10th number minus the 7th number? So we are already given the 9 number. We need to find the 10th number first. So the 10th number will be 63 multiplied by 2 equals to 126, as 2 times 3 gives us 6 and 2 times 6 gives us 12 plus 1, which equals to 127. Now this is the 10th number. Next, we need to find the 8th number and then we can find the 7th number. So the 8th number will be 63 minus 1. As for we always add 1. So in order to go back, we need to subtract 1. So 63 minus 1 gives us 62. And 62 divided by 2 gives us 31, which is the 8th number. Then we can find the 7th number, which is 31 minus 1 equals to 30. 30 divided by 2 gives us 15. So this is the 7th number. So now 127 minus 15 equals to 112. And with that, the correct answer is option C. Next, we have what is the area in square units of the shaded region shown in the figure. So instead of trying to find the area of the shaded shape directly, we can look at it as two right angled triangles. One big right angled triangle and a small right angled triangle cut out from it. So we can find the area of the two triangles and subtract the area of the smaller triangle from the area of the bigger triangle, and then we can get the area of the shaded region. So first, for the area of the bigger triangle, we can see that the large triangle goes all the way up to 20 along x-axis, and along y-axis it also goes up to 20. So we know the area of a triangle is half times base times height. So here the base is 20 and the height is 20. And half times 20 times 20 gives us 200. Next, let us look at the small triangle. Now the base of the small triangle is 10 and the height is 15. So again, we can write it as half times 15 times 10, which equals to 75. So we need to subtract 75 from 200. So 200 minus 75 gives us 125. And with that, the correct answer is option C. Next, we have let x be an odd number. In terms of x, what is the sum of the two even numbers closest to x? So let us assume that x equals to 3. So what is the closest even numbers to 3? 2 and 4. So if we get the sum of 2 and 4, we will see that it's 6. Now notice 6 is exactly twice of 3. So that means it will be twice x, and with that the correct answer is option B. Next, we have in the figure above, n is the midpoint of MQ if mn equals x centimeter and MP equals y centimeter, which segment has length twice x minus y centimeter. So first let us assume MQ equals to 10 centimeter. Now n is the midpoint, that means mn will be 5 centimeter. So x equals to 5, and let us assume that p is at a random point, say 7 centimeter away from m. So MP will be 7 centimeters, which means y will be 7. Now let us plug in the values. 2 times 5 minus 7 equals to 2 times 5. 10 minus 7 gives us 3. So that means PQ is 3 centimeter. We have to subtract 3 from 10. So that means the remaining part after MP will be 3 centimeter, which is PQ. And with that, the final answer is option C. Next, we have what is the area of the parallelogram shown above. So here the base is 30 and the height is 20. Now we are also given a slanted height, but we don't need it, as the area of parallelogram is base times height. So 30 times 20 equals to 600. And with that, the final answer is option B. Next, we have the reciprocal of 1 over 4 is added to the reciprocal of 3. What is the reciprocal of the sum? So the reciprocal of 1 over 4 is basically 4 if we flip 1 over 4. And the reciprocal of 3 is 1 over 3 if we flip it. So we imagine that there is a 1 here and the LCM of 3 and 1 is 3. Now 3 divided by 1 gives us 3. 3 times 4 gives us 12. And 3 divided by 3 gives us 1. 1 times 1 gives us 1. So 12 plus 1 is 13. So that's 13 over 3. Now we need to find the reciprocal of the sum. So we need to flip this 2, which is 3 over 13. And with that, the final answer is option A. Next, we have if parenthesis 5 over 3 minus 1 over 2 parenthesis x equals 1 over 4 plus 2 over 3, then what is the value of x? Now let us do the fractions first. So 5 over 3 minus 1 over 2. Now LCM of 3 and 2 is 6. Now 6 divided by 3 gives us 2. 2 times 5 gives us 10. Now 6 divided by 2 gives us 3. 3 times 1 gives us 3. So that's 3. That means 5 over 3 minus 1 over 2 is 7 over 6. And we have an x here. So that's 7 over 6 x. And 1 over 4 plus 2 over 3. Now the LCM of 4 and 3 is 12. 12 divided by 4 gives us 3. 3 times 1 gives us 3. 12 divided by 3 gives us 4. 4 times 2 gives us 8. So 3 plus 8 equals to 11. So that's 11 over 12. Now, this means that 7 over 6 x equals 11 over 12. Now, if we multiply both sides by 6, we will get 7x equals 11 over 2. And if we multiply this 2 with this 7, we will get 14. So that means x equals to 11 over 14. And with that, the correct answer is option C. Next, we have evaluate absolute value of parenthesis negative 8 minus 12 plus parenthesis negative 17 minus parenthesis negative 31 minus absolute value of 24. So first, let us get rid of the parenthesis. So that's negative 8 minus 12, negative 17. Now negative times negative basically gives us positive. So that's positive 31 minus absolute value of 24. So negative 8 and negative 12 gives us negative 20, and negative 20 minus 17 gives us minus 37. So here we have absolute value of minus 37 plus 31. So that means we have negative 6. Now we need to take the absolute value. So that's 6. And 6 minus absolute value of 24 is basically 24. And 6 minus 24 gives us negative 18. And with that, the correct answer is option A. Next, we have in a certain state, the sales tax rate increased from 7% to 7.5%. What was the increase in the sales tax on a $200 item? So let us find the difference of the sales tax rate, which is 7.5 minus 7. So that's 0.5. Now, 0.5% is exactly half of 1%. So, if we can find 1% of 200, we can also find 0.5% of 200. So 1% of 200 is simply $2 and half of that is $1. So the sales tax rate increase on a $200 item is $1. And with that, the correct answer is option A. Next, we have by what percent did the price of a cup of coffee increase if its price was increased from $1.25 to $1.35. So we can use the formula of change over the original price times 100%. So here the change from 0.25 to 0.35 is 0.10 and the original price is $1.25. And we can write it as 10 over 125 to get rid of the decimal points. Now 10 over 125 gives us 2 over 25. So 2 over 25 can be written as 0.08, and 0.08 times 100% gives us 8%. And with that, the correct answer is option B. Next, we have the price of a sandwich was raised from $6.25 to $6.75. What was the percent increase in the price? So again, we have to use the same formula, which is change over original times 100%. So change from 0.25 to 0.75 is 0.50. And the original price is 6.25 times 100%. Now we can write it as 50 over 625, and 50 over 625 can be written as 2 over 25, as 25 times 2 gives us 50, and 25 times 25 gives us 625. And we know that 2 over 25 is 0.08, and 0.08 multiplied by 100% gives us 8%. And with that, the correct answer is option B.